it's always been known in our family that he was a young man with a great deal of promise, that he was um, enthusiastic about his own service. He wanted to be in the service. I'm not sure why it took him until he was past 18 to sign up, although he was only just turned 23 when he died. So yes, it's always been important to us. I think I mentioned to Andrew, my sister has been to the cemetery where his grave is in Germany. I've never been myself, but yes, we thought it was an amazing thing. The older I get, the more I realize that you probably wouldn't give an airplane and a crew of 6 people to a 22-year-old. He was born in Gooley Bay, so that just outside Sault Ste. Marie in 1920. As far as I know the story, his mother died when he was young, maybe even in childbirth. I don't know that. And my grandmother and grandfather took him in to be their child too. My father would have been about 12 or 13 years old when it happened, and he treated Earl as his brother, talked to him as if he was a brother. Um, I've always known him as my Uncle Earl. Um, why it happened, I don't know, other than it was something that I'm assuming my grandparents could do. So they did it. I've become the custodian of all of the information that's available about Earl Erickson. My grandmother kept the letters that she received about his death and any letters that he had sent to her during the war, during his training time. She kept them in a little red box in a secret place in her house that my sister and I knew about. My brother was too young to know about these things. And so since my mother passed away in March of 2020, we've gone through all this stuff, and I've kept it all, expecting that at some point I'd get enough gumption, from want of a better expression, to send it off to the archives of the RCAF. I'm a historian by training, so I know how important archival material is to organizations. If you ever want to find out anything about Earl Erickson, it needs to be somewhere. And at the moment, I'm the person who has the custody of this information. Other than that, there's really no celebration because, of course, none of us knew him. And my father was an only child, actually, so no siblings. So, other than the three of us in this generation, there is no one to keep Earl's memory alive, unless there are people who remember this handsome young guy that bumped into their lives at one time or another back in the 30s and 40s. Something I doubt very much since it's more than 100 years since he was born.